everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about 10 habits that can take you to being that woman. So we've heard a lot about being that girl and now that woman, and mainly because it's been circling on places like TikTok. I've seen quite a lot of YouTube videos on it, and I really like the idea of creating these healthy habits, this healthy lifestyle to have a successful life, or to find these things that you find successful, and to implement certain strategies, habits to become that successful person, to see what you find to be success and to aim for that by becoming that woman or that girl. I know that there's been a little bit of contention and pushback towards the idea of that girl and that woman. I think mainly because, it can be taken to the extremes. Taking these habits and this lifestyle of productivity and this drive towards success, it can be taken to the extreme and become detrimental to you and your mental health and a lot of other things. But like anything, it can be taken to the extreme. I think you've just got to recognise what's good for you, and when you're feeling burnt out and when something is just too much. So I'm actually going to take it from that girl to that woman, because for me it's taking it up that one extra notch. I, like probably many others out there, are beginning my journey into being a woman. I'm 21, I've nearly finished university, and I don't really consider myself a girl anymore. I want to be considered a woman. So that's why I'm saying that woman instead of that girl. It takes it up that extra notch as we all go into our adult lives. So one of the things that you can do is to track your finances and become financially literate. So this is something like tracking your finances first of all, making sure that you're able to create a good plan to pay off debts, learn how to invest. These things are really important when you're becoming an adult. We want to be able to rent, to buy houses eventually, and to have the funds to live a good life. You might not want to be super wealthy, but having a good amount of money and to know about money is really good, and it's a very good resource to have a good life. So create budgeting plans if you need to. And with learning to invest, I read a book, nearly finished reading a book called Girls Just Want to Have Funds, which I'll put up here. I really recommend it. It's so approachable. I didn't really know anything about investing when I first started to read it, but now I feel so much more confident in the world of investing. The second thing that you can do is to start just acquiring knowledge, and that's just really general knowledge. Things that you will be able to bring up in conversation with future friends or colleagues or partners. You don't want to be that person who just really has no interests or doesn't really know that much about anything or can't really add to conversations. So listen to some podcasts, read a few books, maybe watch a few documentaries, and slowly you'll be able to acquire this knowledge that is going to really benefit you in the future, not just for yourself and to have knowledge on certain topics or multiple different topics, but to be able to use these in conversations. The third thing that you can do is to expand your hobbies. If you want to socialise more, if you want to find like-minded people and friends, then something that you can do is look into more hobbies. If you're interested in crochet, gardening, horse riding, then it's guaranteed that someone else in this world, or someone probably near you, is going to have the same interests. So you can keep this expansion of hobbies online, look into Facebook groups and find people who are interested in it like you are. I'm personally in one about crochet, and it's really nice to see people's creations. You can also look into more, community specific groups. So finding people from around your area, and then maybe you're able to meet up and take those online relationships into the real world. So the fourth thing that you can do is to create a good exercise routine. And apparently you only really need to do about 15 minutes of perhaps brisk walking a day to actually meet that target of getting your heart pumping and your blood flowing. And obviously we all know the benefits of exercise. It's great for you physically, it also really helps your mental health, and it is going to help you in the long run. It's going to help you when you age. If you, for example, start doing a little bit of yoga, then that's going to help make your joints a bit more supple to help avoid possible health situations in the future when you get older, and generally just make life easier for you by giving you more energy. The fifth thing that you can do is to start thinking about your eating habits. So what you put into your body is actually really important. There are so many added extra things, salts and sugars, which just aren't good for us. So maybe start checking how much there is in the boxes of some of these things. Please don't take this to the extreme. I know that checking these types of things can be quite scary for some people, so if that is you, then don't do this. But to check the amount of salts and sugars in certain things, I personally think is good. Instead of, mindlessly ingesting things, sugars, salts, that are in chocolate, some of your favourite foods. You can find so much even just in those pre-made jars of like spaghetti bolognese. You don't realise how much sugar and salt is in some of these things. So just make sure that you check the labels beforehand and decide then whether you want to actually ingest some of these things. So maybe with this, just start looking at new recipes as well, meal prepping and taking away fast food. And yeah, generally just cutting out some of these bad things that is going to be making you feel sluggish and not the best that you can be. The sixth thing that you can do is to practice good hygiene and grooming habits. So hygiene is really important. You don't want to have messy or matted hair, dirty fingernails, or just generally a bad smell when you're meeting people who matter. So this can be potential partners or future colleagues, or people that you're trying to network with, or just generally socializing. You don't want to think that people are looking at you and being like, oh, bit of messy hair, why didn't she brush her hair, or she smells a little bit. You don't want people to be thinking that of you when you walk into a room, because first impressions really do matter. So just taking the extra step to brush your teeth for a bit longer, to make sure that your hair isn't sticking up in every different place. I know mine can be a little bit temperamental sometimes, but making these extra little things happen in the morning, and instead of just walking out of the door, as you just kind of rolled out of bed, just to make those impressions a little bit better. But obviously things happen, situations do happen, and you're not always going to be looking your best, and that's okay. But this is just for if you're kind of being a little bit lazy with it, then make sure that you do pick up on these types of things. But fundamentally, you need to be doing these things for you and not for others. You want to be feeling good, you want to be looking good, you want to be smelling good for you because it's nice. So don't just be thinking about others, but be thinking about you and how you personally want to feel. The seventh thing that you can do is start learning a new language. I'm personally trying to learn a little bit of Spanish here and there. I want to be a bit more committed to it and a little bit more consistent, but with university things are a little bit difficult at the moment. But if you've ever watched someone like, I think it's Shauma NYC, I'll put his channel up here. I think his videos are just amazing. Firstly, the ability for him to just learn a language just like that, but also because when he goes into these places like these shops or these restaurants and starts speaking these people's native languages, the where you just see them light up is beautiful. It's amazing. And the fact that anyone can really do this, just start learning a language and you can create so many more connections, you can make new friends, and you can socialize even more. The 8th thing that you can do is to protect your mental health. So ways in which you can protect your mental health is like cutting off people or friends who put you down and make you feel bad. Similarly, shows. If you're watching a TV show that doesn't make you feel good mentally, then cut that show out of your life. Stop watching it. It doesn't matter if you're halfway through. If it just doesn't make you feel good. I know sometimes with certain crime things, I do like true crime and watching these types of mystery type shows, but sometimes it can make me not feel the best, and sometimes you have to pick the days in which you watch these. It's also similar with social media and following influencers and celebrities and who are actually not making you feel great. And you don't want to be following people and going onto social media and then suddenly seeing these people or these things or whatever it is that isn't making you feel your best self. So unfollow those people and you will start feeling better in that regard. And then start creating good mental health habits. So start journaling or practice meditation and breathing techniques. Also, if you're able to start therapy. You can do therapy in person, online, you can even do it where it's just over the phone so you don't actually have to see each other. I think that this is a worthwhile investment. If it's something that you're open to doing, I would say it's worthwhile and to go ahead. This kind of goes hand in hand with the next one, which is on 9th, which is cutting down your social media use. I have already made a video on this topic, which I will put up here I think. So go ahead and watch that where I talk about it a bit more and my own personal experience. But yeah, social media generally is not good for us. It has too much stuff going on and it really just takes away our attention, our focus. We spend so much of our time just scrolling and generally just wasting our life. If we think about all of the hours that we probably are going to spend in our lifetime scrolling, are you going to be happy with that in the future when you're old and you think back on your life about all the time that you could have spent doing something, seeing people, creating new skills and good habits? I don't think so. I think you'll be quite annoyed with yourself that you just spent all your time with your focus stolen, scrolling and looking at things that you can't even remember anymore. The final thing that you can do, which is number 10, is to create a better mindset. So create a mindset that is void of insecurity and discontent, and create a mindset for yourself which is abundant, which is about growth and consistency. If you want to implement all of these habits and do it correctly, then you need to probably shift your mindset. Doing this will bring more positivity into your life and help solidify all of these habits. Okay, so that is that for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what habit you think that you'll implement and what habits that you're currently doing. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!